Hello, my beautiful family. Welcome to this video. For those that don't know me, I'm Georgia Ashara, and I teach on sacred feminine arts, womb healing, light language channeling, soul embodiment, somatic healing, all those sorts of amazing things, so that we have an integrated, holistic life of cosmic awareness and integrated right relationship with the earth and our bodies. So today I'm going to be talking about something that's really special actually, and something that I wish was maybe spoken a little bit about more in our society, and that there was more of this happening on this planet at this time. I know it's so important, so I'm going to talk to you about it because this is what's coming to me through my clients, and this is what I'm seeing. And I know that although I'm not actively seeking out this kind of client, it's happening because this is what is happening on this planet right now. And it is souls incarnating, very beautiful souls incarnating at this time that want to connect to the mothers, want to have this beautiful sacred connection before they even incarnate into the body. And I think as women, we have lost a lot of our sacred rights, our sacred passageways through our womanly journey, from being the maiden, being the young girls, growing up into these beautiful women who are then going to bring life into being as well. And we miss that sacred journey sometimes, and a lot of the time. And we also miss even just the sacredness of creating life and what it really truly means to be a portal of creation. And so what I'm getting is I get clients coming to me that maybe feel a little bit disconnected to their bodies, to their womb space, or they want that. They are on a spiritual journey, but they're still feeling like it's not happening for them when it comes to birth, fertility. There's lots of things coming up around fertility. And I think that this really does come to, from my personal opinion here, is that society is really kind of taking away the space for women to truly come into their bodies and really feel what is happening, and really create space for this initiation and this passageway for that to go through that gateway into creating life through their body. It's a beautiful thing in one sense that women are able to have the freedom to work if they want to work and have equal pay and all of these things. But when we actually come to have a child, quite often we need a lot of space for that to happen before we actually become pregnant, and during and after. All of that time is getting taken into needing to still work, because I don't know about anywhere else in the world, but here in the UK, housing is expensive. Having your cars and all the different bills and the things that we have to pay for, it's getting more and more expensive. So the household has to basically have two people in general. Here I'm talking generally, two people in the household have to be earning a substantial amount of money to make it doable to live, right? To have the house, to have the cars, to continue working. Then they have their children and they end up taking them into childcare and all of these things, because they have to continue working, right? This is happening a lot. This is what I'm seeing a lot. And there's a lot of pressure for women to uphold that. But yet there's this like internal primal need for space to connect to the divine, space to connect to their soul, their own soul, and the soul essence of the soul that wants to incarnate through their vessel. Because this is really what's happening. This is the core, like, of what's happening when a person is becoming pregnant. When a woman starts to create life in her, she is creating life, a physical form that allows the soul incarnation to happen. So before this even happens, there is a soul that is choosing to come into earth. It wants to learn certain lessons. It wants to have certain experiences. And it wants a certain lifestyle even, right? Because those are the foundations that create the environment for the certain experiences and lessons that they want to learn. And they're looking at all these mothers and they're like, how can I come in here? I want to come in and have time with my mom. I want to be with my mom. How often do you get kids who do come in to their incarnation and then they want more time with their mums or their parents, both mother and father, and they haven't necessarily been able to have all that time together. So this is where the Sacred Feminine Arts comes in, because we can start to carve out some time in our lives, because yes, we do have to sometimes learn how to carve out time and create space. It'd be lovely if we could just whimsically flow in and out, and some people do have that privilege, but I'm talking to those who do not always have the privilege to do this. That maybe you have to work, maybe you have a lifestyle that doesn't allow for expansive long periods of time of creating space to be with your baby and the soul essence. So I'm going to give you some tools today that allows you to have that, because what I'm finding with my clients is that when we're creating these sacred spaces and initiations, they're able to then create a deeper relationship with their soul baby, and it's creating more ease, more connection, and more love and joy for the experience of the birth as well. So I want to give you 3 main steps that you can take that are going to be very simple, very easy for you to tap in to your soul essence of the baby that wants to incarnate with you. And I want to then give you some other alternative things as well that you can tap into. So stay tuned to the end for that. But I just want to remind you as well, I think a lot of women might feel anxious or nervous about making this kind of connection, because sometimes we hide these little doubts that we actually have the ability for fertility. That's what a lot of women come to start learning, how to become more fertile and be able to conceive. There's a lot of things out here in the world now that really do make it kind of difficult and challenging for women to conceive with such ease. So if that's you, someone who feels that you've been trying for a long time, then I really highly recommend to come to a one-on-one session with me or someone else who is a womb expert, a fertility expert, who can really start to help you either energetically, with herbs, with acupuncture, with all these different other alternatives that you can try to really get your body prepared for conception and really go on that fertility journey with other things that could just help to hold the space for you. It's not that you can't do it on your own, but with so many things in this outside reality that do influence our readiness, then know that there are so many options and things for you to try and explore. And if you want to know more about that, then drop some comments below. Maybe I'll make another video about all the various different ways and alternatives that we can tap into womb health and vitality, because I speak from a very energetic perspective. I come from the Tao Tantric lineage, and so that's where I come from with my healing modalities. I work with the somatic energy healing to tap into those emotional layers, those spiritual layers. I work with the Akash and light language channeling, so I connect with spirit and soul, and that's how we communicate and get some more subtle answers of what's going on. But you might want to work with various other options as well. So just know that they're out there, and that I can dive into that more in other videos. But for now, I want to give you 3 things that I would suggest with my clients, and something that you can easily do today. And that first one is to journal. So many people journal. Journaling is such a common thing these days, where we journal our thoughts, our belief systems, mantras, gratitude, all these different things. So if you want to connect specifically with a soul that wants to come and incarnate with you, you want to connect with it more, then I highly recommend getting yourself a journal that's specifically for you to connect with this being. Now, there's different options I'm going to give you how to tap into this as well. So you can either just meditate, sit, and come into a space where you're in a channeled energy, and you can ask questions, and then you can start journaling and writing, automatic writing, where things just come and you start writing messages, either messages from your soul or this soul that wants to come through you. Just start writing these messages. You can also write it as a journal where you just start writing questions and say, hey, I'm just handing this off and out to receive. Maybe you start hearing someone talking to you and it's kind of, you've written this question. It's almost like it's answering it, because sometimes spirit speaks through other people, through other things, which then leads into something else I'm going to talk about in a minute. And so another option that you can do with journaling is through dreaming as well. So you can have this book as like a dream journal, and you can ask questions, you can set intentions, create sacred space before you go to bed, that you prepare, and you speak to this soul. You say, how I want to connect with you. I want to have a relationship with you throughout my dream time. Show me messages, maybe ask certain questions and you want them answered. You want more connection. See this being, hear about it, what it likes, what it wants to do, how it wants to incarnate, why it wants to maybe incarnate, why you might be the mother that you're wanting to connect with, or father if you're someone who is a father who's also wanting to connect with your soul of your baby. You can start to create these intentions, and then you can go to sleep, have your dreams. You can even have a crystal that you attune your crystal with, put that under your pillow to help with the activation as well. And then when you wake up, the dreams that you have, just start to write them down and just start to see where these signs and symbols might be within your dreams. One advice I have with this though is try not to get so influenced with social media before bed. So like, try not to scroll, try not to be watching TV and different videos and all these sorts of things before you go to bed, because that's going to also influence you. So try and do a bit of meditation, do a bit of breath work, or listen to some sound frequencies before you go to bed, so you can get into a nice resonance and vibration, because this is a soul that hasn't incarnated yet. So it's vibrating at a very high vibrational frequency. So you need to come up to meet this frequency, and you want to be at that frequency in your bed, right? When you go to sleep, because you may even notice this if you watch something like a horror movie and you go to bed, you're going to probably have dreams that are very chaotic, maybe kind of a little bit low vibrational experiences. Maybe you'll be reenacting and replaying some of the things that happen in the movie, right? So it's the same thing. We want to hold this vibration and really get into the vibration of what this soul resonance is, so that you can make that connection. So that's my advice there with that. So my second part of this is also to remember that you can ask for these signs and symbols. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to write it down to get the messages, but just know when you state it out loud, if you say it when you're sitting at your altar and you're saying prayers and wishes and speaking from that place, whether it's in your meditation, you can just say, I would like to receive messages and signs that you are around, that you're getting close to me, that you are giving me these messages and letting me know that you are ready to come in and how you want to express yourself in this world. And then you might start to have conversations with people who spark certain information, share certain things with you, and you're like, this is just like what I asked, and I feel like I'm getting it through this person, because spirit, again, it speaks through our reality. And so you might see it even on the TV, maybe somehow some YouTube channels kind of comes up and starts speaking to you. Maybe this is what's happening now. You've been thinking about it, you've been having this thought and wanting to connect to this being, and then all of a sudden this YouTube channel has popped up and is talking about this with you. This is a message to say, hey, I'm here, I'm ready, and I'm so wanting to come into your womb space and to be created. Like, I'm ready and I trust that it will happen in divine timing. So we always just know that it's always going to happen in that right alignment. And this is even another thing that for those women that maybe feel that they can't conceive, our baby souls can also come in different ways. They can also come through other people who may have children and they couldn't keep up with having a child and they need to bring their child into adoption. There are other options, and that child, just because they've come through someone else's womb, doesn't mean that that child isn't some soul connection to you. Like, we are all soul connected. Like, everyone who you meet, everyone who you've experienced, even from your cat and your dog and different animals in your lives, they are all soul contracted in a way for us to meet and connect. Like, we're all weaved in that fabrics of creation to find each other at certain times in our lives. So also trust in that as well. So even if you're connecting to a soul essence and it's saying that it's coming through and you really feel that resonance and it feels like it's coming into your life, it may also come into your life in other ways. So trust this process and really allow yourself to surrender to how this is meant to be, because it will work in miracles, it will work in mysterious ways. And yeah, just trust in that as well, please. I do want you to know that. So one of the last things that I'm going to mention that you can start practicing straight away is womb breathing. Now, we can really start to connect into our womb space and really open up this portal and vibration, so you start to feel the connection of your own body. Because how can we really connect into this soul if we are feeling disembodied and disconnected from our own womb space? So I really invite you to find ways that you can connect to your womb. And simply you can just breathe with your womb, bring all your awareness down into your womb, breathing in and out, feeling the sensations in the womb, in the pelvis, allowing the sensations to move, whatever feels stagnant or frozen, and start to bring that beautiful warm breath into the womb to warm the womb. Imagine this beautiful golden light filling your womb, making it a nice cozy place for your beautiful being to come into this sacred space of yours. When you start then bringing more attention and aliveness and energy into your womb space, then it makes it even more exciting and inviting for souls to go, oh, look at this womb, it's glowing, it's literally vibrating in these high vibration frequencies. Perfect place for me to come in and just like get snuggly over there. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you bring all this attention into your womb, you're really giving into this space of like, hey, like I'm here, I'm present with the womb, I'm present with what's happening in my womb and how I feel about my womb, what needs moving in my womb and what needs to come into my womb. So just gentle breathing, womb breathing is just so powerful and amazing in itself. And that leads me into, very lastly, I do have a very small little mini course to get people started with different practices that help to cultivate more connection to your own body. It's called Sacred Woman, and it helps you to understand the Tao Tantric teachings of breast massage, yoni breathing, and Taoist practices that really support getting that body prepared to conceive and getting the body prepared to just feel in your most vital, vibrant self, whether that's that you want to even transmute painful periods, or you want to clear yourself of like an old relationship or anything like that. These practices will help you to create a nice relationship with your womb and your body that bring a more sacred, ritualistic practice to the body, to the womb, that yeah, it's completely life-changing.